For the first time since 2019, the Newport Gulls will be playing playoff baseball here at Cardines Field. Hi, everybody. Zach Letson getting you set for a single elimination wild card game between the Coastal Division champion Newport Gulls and the last team in the playoffs, the 6th-seeded Sanford Mainers. These two teams split the season series with Newport winning at Goodall Park and Sanford winning at Cardines Field. A win for Newport, and they're off to Bristol for a best-of-3 starting tomorrow. We'll see if they can do it here at 6:35, but the Gulls pregame show starts right now.
Well, some are calling it the biggest game in years, maybe decades for Syracuse football. The Orange with their best start through 6 games in 35 years. Number 14 in the country, and 6-0 Syracuse making the trek down south to face number 5 and unbeaten Clemson. Yeah, there was a lot on the line, and that's probably putting it lightly heading into this contest. Dino Babers, Damo Sweeney. Hey, which one of us is going to be unbeaten at the end of the day? Is it going to be me? No, it's going to be me. Syracuse down a touchdown early. That's until Garrett Schrader finds Sean Tucker on the wheel route wide open. He walks into the end zone, 7-7 game. Clemson on the doorstep trying to take the lead again. Hey, that football's on the ground. Jihad Carter, he says, I got it. On a one-way ticket to Pater, I'm talking 90 yards. Look at that crowd. It's stunned silence at Memorial Stadium. The Orange with a 14-7 lead in the second quarter. SU pushing again, trying to extend that lead, that insurance touchdown. Hey, it'd be pretty nice, wouldn't it be? Garrett Schrader, he says, I'll do it myself. A 7-yard run to put the Orange up 21-7. So Clemson takes their starter out, going to the true freshman, Clay Kovnick. This is on 3rd and 25, running out of bounds, and oh boy, a late push. Elijah Fuentes, Cundiff. You see the reaction from the Syracuse sideline because they get awarded a free first down. Now early in the 4th, same drive, Clemson punches it in. Phil Maffa, 1 yard out, and Clemson now down just 1 score. They get the ball back, and they give it to the speedster, Will Shipley. A monstrous game, over 170 yards on the ground, and the Tigers, for the first time since the first quarter, have the lead. Last opportunity for the Orange, down by 6, and Garrett Schrader, he makes a game-sealing mistake. R.J. Mickens says, hey, I got it, fellas. Clemson survives. The Tigers win it 27-21 in Death Valley. Hey, Dino Babers, Michael Jones, this one's got to stick. Well, we pick it up in the first half. Bryant with an 8-point lead, but watch what happens after the play. Judah Mintz takes exception to his shove from Doug Eddert, and then, it turns into a slap fest. First, Mintz goes after Eddert, then Eddert comes back with a slap, and then watch John Bolajak coming charging at Eddert, who says, get me out of here. In the end, they both get ejected. Later in this one, Syracuse struggling so much offensively, but there for the putback and in, Jesse Edwards, he gives Syracuse its first lead of the entire game. Coming down to the wire, down by 1 or Bryant until Sharif Gross Bullock with the buzzer beater gets it to go with under a second left. Last opportunity for Syracuse. In it goes the home run pass from Torrance. No dice. And Bryant gets it done 73-72. Not the most pleasant of conversations after the game between Jared Grosso and Jim Boeheim. And Coach Boeheim had some things to say after the game about the fight and the conversation. And Scott Service, the manager for Seattle, he says, I'm going to go to my starter, Robbie Ray. 1 out away. Air Jordan to the rescue. A 3-run shot high into the seats. And back from the dead is Houston. The Astros take it. They steal game 1. Alvarez with 5 RBIs, a 3-hit performance, and Houston beats Seattle 8-7. Wow, what a way to begin the divisional round. So many storylines across the board from one series to another. I'll tell you where else there's some storylines right now. Right here on the Hill, 5-0 and number 18 Syracuse football, getting ready for number 15 NC State this weekend. But hey, there's a lot of question marks surrounding the Wolfpack right now, specifically with their starting quarterback situation. Devin Leary, the ACC preseason player of the year, a nasty hit against Florida State to his right shoulder for the right-handed quarterback. He would not return for the game against the Noles, but was seen on the sidelines in an arm sling. So you'd think, no way he plays next week, right? NC State head coach Dave Doran says, don't make any assumptions.
I'm standing somewhere the Syracuse offense couldn't find a single time through the first 3 quarters tonight against Boston College. The end zone. SU mustered just 6 points, all on field goals through the first 45 minutes. But then in the final 15, a switch flipped. SU found this very end zone 4 different times in the 4th quarter en route to a 32-23 win tonight against Boston College at Alumni Stadium in Chestnut Hill. For Dino Babers and company, this one felt pretty good as SU's first win this season since October 15th.
You know, some good things, some bad things out there. but really excited about how my guys finished, how they fought to the very end. They didn't do everything right, and they weren't always doing the smart things, but overall the effort was fabulous.
I mean, I'm proud of these guys, and I love the way we fought, and just got to keep our head up even when things, because adversity's going to come. And there was a moment where I feel like these guys did kind of lose a little bit of faith. We were able to rally back, and they got a turnover, and we went down and scored, and we got back on track.
Syracuse's 5-game losing streak is history. The Orange finished the regular season with a 7-5 record, and now, for the first time since 2018 for the Orange, it's bowl season. Hey, it could be the Gasparilla Bowl, could be the Fenway Bowl, could be the Pinstripe Bowl for all we know, but we won't get that answer until early December. Reporting from Alumni Stadium in Chestnut Hill, Massachusetts, Zach Letson, Citrus TV.
Well, if you tuned in Saturday for the annual Florida State-Miami rivalry, you were probably shocked. Yeah, the Seminoles entered with a better record than the Hurricanes. Florida State was even favored by a touchdown entering Saturday night. But wait, this is FSU-UM we're talking about. 6 of the past 8 matchups had been decided by one score. Noles head coach Mike Norvell, he talked about leaving a legacy, and, well, that's exactly what his team did. Florida State picked up the largest road victory in the history of the 67-year rivalry with a 45-3 win. In-season implications, yeah, there's plenty of those. The Seminoles are officially going bowling, but it's way bigger than that. Recruiting, that's sure to skyrocket too. There isn't a game all season with more future potential Noles or Hurricanes on the sidelines than the Florida State-Miami game. You think they took notice? Just maybe. FSU's incoming recruiting class already 20th in the rankings, and I got news for you folks, that's probably going to go up. Mike Norvell's current team, they look more bought in than ever. And the players of tomorrow rocking that garnet and golds are witnessing a program finally on the rise again. All right, one last SEC pick, guys, I promise. Brian Kelly and his cringy little dance moves have danced their way all the way to a number 6 ranking in the college football playoff rankings and a ticket to the SEC title game. LSU, they got a bit of a snoozer here in the home stretch. No, I'm not talking about Texas A&M. That's next week. I'm talking about UAB. Classic mix-up right there. It's the Tigers and UAB this Saturday, who's only getting just over 2 touchdowns in a night game in Death Valley. Look, I'm as much a fan of anyone that the Blazers football program, it's back, it's running, but North Texas, UTSA, and FAU, not exactly number 6 LSU. I don't know if we've got a UAB grad making the odds out in Vegas for a 5-5 Conference USA team, but I like the Tigers by 3 or 4 scores in this game. Listen, Jaden Daniels needs a confidence booster after struggling last week against Arkansas. That's what games like this are for. So $10 on the Tigers to win and cover that spread.
The sounds of baseball. Something Syracuse Club baseball senior Aiden Berg has never gotten tired of.
So I've been playing since I was probably like 5 or 6. I played throughout middle school, played some Babe Ruth, some Legion, which is kind of just high school baseball, and then I played for my high school team, and that's kind of all I've done before coming here and playing club baseball.
But less than 2% of high school baseball players go on to play Division I college baseball. As a high school senior, Burke had a tough decision to make.
There were a few schools that I had a potential option to maybe play at, and then at the end of the day, I realized I'd rather just go to a school I was passionate about and really wanted to go to rather than maybe play D3 baseball. So I'm really happy with the choice I made, and club baseball allows me to just continue playing the game. So I love doing that.
Behind me is the JMA Wireless Dome, home to 5 different Syracuse teams: SU football, Cuse men's and women's basketball, and Orange men's and women's lacrosse. Now, what do all 5 of those teams have in common that Syracuse Club baseball does not? Well, they're official Division I NCAA teams. What does that mean? Well, they have guidelines and restrictions, rosters, coaching staffs, the whole 9. Syracuse Club baseball doesn't have to deal with any of that, so that allows Burke and company to get a lot more creative. Zach Letson here with Colton Freeman, the man that had the biggest swing of the goal season, a go-ahead grand slam, a 4-for-4 game 1 in the doubleheader, then a grand slam in game 2. Take me through your emotions through that moment, a bat flip to remember and a swing to remember for you, Colton.
Zach, it looks like you've had a long night, so I'm going to take this for myself. That was the most ridiculous day of baseball I've ever played.
Well, Newport whacked the ball around a lot tonight. 4 jacks on the night, 2 of them from the man to my right. It is Slade Alford. He's got the boxing gloves around his neck. And why not? It feels like the champ after a night like tonight, right? 2 home runs for you, Slade. Well, Mississippi State fans are going to be pretty happy about the guy over to my left. It's Newport Goals outfielder Colton Ledbetter here on the NECBL pregame show. Colton, take me through that decision. You have an excellent year at Samford, lead the team in home runs, RBIs, every offensive category imaginable. What went into your decision to make the move from there to a heck of a program at Mississippi State?
So really, I mean, obviously everyone wants to play in the SEC. That's a lot of people's dreams, and that was one of my dreams. And so I feel like I put myself in a good spot to do that, and I took the chance, and it worked out for the best. So I'm definitely excited for this huge fan base. They've already given me a lot of support. I love it. So I'm ready to play in front of them and you know, put on a show for them. So.
Yeah, a lot of love on Twitter for Mr. Colton Ledbetter, but since arriving here at Newport, this is a pretty different park from a lot of those that are in the SEC. Pretty funky, high walls, but you like playing here. Home runs in 3 straight games at home. What do you like about hitting here and playing at Cardines Field?
Well, first of all, I mean, Newport's obviously right on the water, so you got that nice ocean breeze coming in, great weather. Ball's always flying here, always blowing out, so it makes it a little bit easier for us. But yeah, I love the uniqueness of this park, the dimensions, the weird dimensions. It's great. So yeah, the ball. I love the way the ball flies here. So it's awesome.
Well, you've been hitting well. NECBL Week 2 honor roll recipient. It's been kind of a roller coaster ride for this team. You have that big rally late that falls just short. How as a unit, do you get back on track and find some more consistent offense going forward?
So in the past few games, we've had obviously a tough past few games, and I mean, I feel like we've been hitting it right to people, hitting it hard. So we just got to, pray to the baseball gods or something. Hopefully hopefully those balls will find a few more holes, and just keep hitting it well. Just hope for the best. That's baseball. Got to have fun with it.
Well, you just got given the bunny ears behind you, and it's actually a perfect transition into my next question. The Gulls have spent a lot of time on the road this season, a stretch 5 road games in a 6-game stretch. A lot of time on the bus. You're around the guys plenty. What's the funniest, most unique personality on this group that you've run into? Don't mean to put you on the spot, but what do you got?
Honestly, I'd have to give it to Colton Freeman. He's quirky. He is so funny. I mean, he's out there. He just gives it all to you. He's our hype man in the dugout for sure. We play a game called Moth in the bus, and he usually narrates that, and he's got the best storylines. I mean, it's great. He's definitely a good teammate, a good fuel for our fire. So he's definitely been a fun guy to meet and get to know.
All right, well, that's one Colton to another. Colton Ledbetter, the Mississippi State outfielder. Thanks so much for the time.